Hey everyone, Mike Mulligan here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am a certified orientation and mobility specialist, and today I'll be demonstrating and talking about outdoor trailing with a white cane, also known as shorelining. So let's get to it. So before I get into the details of trailing outdoors with the white cane, I just want to mention that this video is really meant to be a review of trailing technique. It's not meant to be a replacement for meeting with an orientation and mobility specialist. So before I go out and give you a step-by-step demonstration of outdoor trailing using a white cane, I just want to mention that this is a really useful cane technique for certain circumstances. It's not meant to be used as a long-term or used for long duration technique, but it really is helpful for certain situations. And those include finding or detecting landmarks or objects. Two, it's a good way of maintaining a line of travel. Also, it's a good way of recovering from a veer. So if you veer, it's a good way to realign yourself to continue straight line travel. And then fourth is it is a good technique for just keeping in contact with the environment. So those are really the four benefits of using trailing technique outdoors. And I'll give you a demonstration on exactly those 4 points put into practice, as well as a step-by-step demonstration. So let's get to it. All right, thank you so much for sticking with me here. And before I go out and give a demonstration of how to trail and some examples, I just want to mention that this technique is really useful in lots of different circumstances. So these examples I'm going to be showing you are just a few ideas, but there are really so many ways to use trailing to meet one's goals. And when you're trailing with your cane, there are several different techniques you can use to do the trailing. So you can use either 2-point touch, you can use constant contact, you can use touch and drag, there's a 3-point touch, there's diagonal cane technique. So there's a lot of different options out there to use while trailing. So you really got to find what works best for you and the certain circumstance you're in and which one will work best for that situation. And finally, I want to mention that there are different surfaces that can be trailed. So there's vertical surfaces, which are things like walls or fences. And then there's horizontal surfaces, which is a grass line, a dirt line. And when I say grass line or dirt line, that's where the grass and maybe the concrete intersect on a sidewalk, or dirt and asphalt meet on a driveway. So those are just some examples of both vertical and horizontal objects that can be trailed. Okay, now for a quick demonstration on how to trail. There's a lot of little details, but I'm just going to focus on the main thing. So first, you want to face in the direction you're looking to travel. That's a big one. And then you need to work on sweeping the cane. So when you're sweeping the cane, the goal is to still get 1 or 2 inches past each shoulder using whatever technique you're using. And the goal is to find the shoreline or the object you're looking to trail every time you sweep the cane in that direction. So right here, I'm on the sidewalk, grass line on both sides, and I'm trailing the right grass line, and I'm doing that by sweeping the cane left and right and making sure my cane gets actually up onto the grass an inch or two when I'm sweeping the cane in that direction. So this is just a demonstration. I'm practicing just sweeping left and right before I start moving. And once I feel comfortable with that, or you feel comfortable with that, you can begin to move by walking in step and sweeping the cane left and right and finding that shoreline or object you're looking to trail every time you sweep the cane in that direction. So for my first example here, I'm going to demonstrate how trailing can be a great way of locating landmarks or different destinations. And here I'm going to demonstrate looking for a pathway on my right side. So I'm standing along a residential sidewalk. There's grass on both my left and right, but I'm looking for a pathway on the right. So I'm going to trail to my right. That way when I sweep my cane left and right, every time I sweep it right, I find the grass shoreline, because I'm looking for an opening which I'll be able to feel with the change in terrain. So it turns from a grass shoreline to pavement. So once I find that pavement, I know that is the pathway I am looking to turn right on to get to my destination. So here we go, made the right turn, and now I can continue on. And for this example, I'm going to be demonstrating how to find a telephone pole landmark that is actually on the grass. And you can also do that with trailing because the pole is close enough to the sidewalk. When I sweep my cane left and right, I'm making sure I sweep a little bit wider to my right while I'm trailing the grass line. So I'm doing this now, going onto the grass, and I'm looking for a telephone pole as a landmark. And there we go. I found it with my cane because I swept my cane far enough to the right while trailing.
And for my third example here, I'm going to demonstrate how trailing can be a great way to recover from a veer. So right now I'm going to demonstrate walking down a sidewalk. There's grass on both sides. And what happens if I veer into an unintended pathway? There's a way of using trailing as a way to recover from that veer. So right now I'm just trailing the right side, walking down the sidewalk just for demonstrations purposes. And now I found a pathway that I wasn't looking to travel down, so I veered right into that pathway. But now I can trail the grass shoreline back out to the main sidewalk and continue on my way. And then for my final example, trailing can be a great way of keeping straight line travel. So if somebody is struggling with bouncing or pinballing on the sidewalk left and right, or they just struggle with maintaining a straight line of travel, trailing can be a helpful way of encouraging or maintaining that straight line while walking.
So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video review was helpful of trailing technique in outdoor environments, also known as shorelining. This can be used in so many different situations, so if you're not quite sure, please consult with an orientation mobility specialist who could help you decide when trailing is the best technique for you. And thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel here and click that little bell icon that'll alert you when new videos become available. And have a wonderful day.